Welcome back to Crystals and Codes. I'm so glad you're here today, because we're going to be talking about something that almost everyone has heard of, but very few people truly understand, and that is karma. Now, most of us grew up hearing karma described as some kind of cosmic scoreboard. You do something bad comes back to you. You do something good things follow. Simple cause and effect. I want you to know that today, we're going to go much deeper than that. All the way down to what karma truly is at its core, why it exists, and most importantly, how you can work with it consciously and compassionately in your own life. To do that, let's begin with a passage from one of my absolute favorite metaphysical texts, the Law of One. For those of you who are new here, the Law of One is a series of channeled conversations between a man named Don Elkins and a collective consciousness called Ra, who describe themselves as a sixth-density social memory complex. Whether you resonate with the channeling aspect or not, the wisdom in these texts is truly profound, and I think you're going to feel that as we move through this together. So let's go ahead and read the passage directly, and then we'll break it all down. Questioner: would you define karma? I am Ra. Our understanding of karma is that which may be called inertia. Those actions which are put into motion will continue using the ways of balancing until such time as the controlling or higher principle, which you may liken unto your breaking or stopping, is invoked. This stoppage of the inertia of action may be called forgiveness. These two concepts are inseparable. Questioner: if an entity develops what is called karma in an incarnation, is there then programming that sometimes occurs so that he will experience catalysts that will enable him to get to a point of forgiveness, thereby alleviating the karma? Ra: I am Ra. This is in general correct. However, both self and any involved other self may at any time, through the process of understanding, acceptance, and forgiveness, ameliorate these patterns. This is true at any point in an incarnative pattern. Thus, one who has set in motion an action may forgive itself and never again make that error. This also breaks or stops what you call karma. Sounds interesting, right? There's a lot of wisdom packed into those few sentences. The very first thing Ra offers us is this word: inertia. No punishment or curses to be had here. Not a judge somewhere in our galaxy busy keeping score against you. Inertia. And if you remember anything from a basic physics class, inertia simply means that something in motion tends to stay in motion unless an external force acts upon it to slow it down or stop it. That's it. That is karma in its truest form. When you take an action, whether it's something you did to another person, something you did to yourself, it could even be a pattern of thought or a habit of behavior, that action has energy. It creates momentum. Just like the rolling ball, that action is going to keep rolling, playing out the scenes, and continuing to find ways of balancing itself in your experience, until something stops it. And what can stop it? Ra is beautifully clear here. It's forgiveness. Now I want you to really hear that, because this is where so many of us have it backwards. We tend to think of karma as something being done to us, like we're just waiting to get hit by the karmic boomerang for something we did wrong. However, Ra indicates to us that we are never without agency. We are never just passive recipients of karmic consequence. We are always, at every single moment, capable of invoking the one thing that stops the cycle entirely. And that one thing is forgiveness. From the Bible, Jesus demonstrated his understanding of this concept and the Law of One so very clearly when his apparent last words on the cross were, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." Now let's talk about the second part of this passage, because this is where it gets even more personal and, honestly, more hopeful. The questioner asks whether our lives are sometimes designed, whether certain experiences, people, or painful catalysts are drawn into our path specifically to help us arrive at that point of forgiveness, so that the karmic pattern can finally be resolved. And Ra says, yes, generally speaking, that's correct. Think about that the next time life feels difficult. Think about the relationship that keeps triggering you, the situation that seems to repeat itself no matter how hard you try to escape it. What if that experience isn't a punishment? What if it's actually an invitation? An invitation from your own higher self, your own soul, to finally do the inner work, to learn, understand, to accept, and then forgive, so that the wheel can stop spinning. And here is the most liberating part of all of this, something I really want you to feel and reflect on in the long term. Ra says that you do not have to wait for the perfect karmic circumstance to show up in your life. You do not have to wait until someone apologizes to you, or until the situation resolves itself, or until you feel ready. Both you and/or anyone else involved can, through authentic forgiveness, dissolve the pattern entirely. Anytime. Right now, if you choose. That means if there is a piece of you in your past, something you did, something you said, a version of yourself you're not proud of, you have the power to look at that, understand it with compassion, accept it as part of your journey, and forgive yourself completely. And when you do that sincerely, deeply, and fully, the inertia stops. The karma is resolved. Not because you got away with something, but because the energy has been truly, genuinely transformed. So if there's one thing I hope you carry with you from this video today, it's this. Karma is not a prison. It is not proof that you are broken or bad or doomed to repeat your past. It is simply energy in motion, asking to be met with your highest self. And your highest self always has access to the most powerful force in the universe, which is love, expressed through forgiveness. Be gentle with yourself on this journey. You are doing the work just by being here and asking these questions. Thank you so much for watching Crystals and Codes. If this resonated with you, please give it a like, share it with someone who might need to hear it, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, my brothers and sisters.